Hi guys, my name is Jay. I'm one of the expert IELTS teachers here at E2 Language, which by the way is an online platform for IELTS preparation. Anything you need help with, whether it be writing or speaking or listening or reading, we can help you out through tutorials, through our practice materials, through our daily live group classes, etc. What we're going to do in this live class is important. One of the things that you need to be able to do on test day, and one of the things you need to be able to do quickly, is to conjure up a paragraph structure for your essay, okay? So imagine you sit down, you look at that essay prompt, the question prompt, how are you going to structure it? There are two main paragraph structures you need to know before test day, okay? Because there are 7 different question types. And of the 7 different question types, 5 of them require one paragraph structure, 2 of them require another type of paragraph structure. So you need to know this before test day. So let's have a look. This is for IELTS academic. No. It's not even for academic. Sorry, I shouldn't say academic. It's for IELTS general and academic. It's for both. Okay, it's for both. My mistake there. But for IELTS writing task 2, this is called essential paragraph structures. Hold on to your hat. So in today's class, I'm going to quickly go through the 7 essay types that you might see on test day. Of course, you will only get one, but there are 7 of them. We're going to look, number 2, at the single idea paragraph structure. We're going to look at the double idea paragraph structure as well. I'm also going to give you a quiz, and you'll also be doing some writing in this. So please get out a pen and a piece of paper, because I'm going to teach you. It's for writing, you can't just watch videos. You need to get out your pen, and if you do it once, that might even be enough. That might boost your score up to the score that you need. So get out a pen, a piece of paper. We'll do it together. I'll talk you through it, okay? Cool. Let's get started. So there are 7 essay types in IELTS that you might see, whether you're academic or general, okay? These are the 7. So the first one's called double question. Second one, agree, disagree, or to what extent. Third one, discuss both views. Fourth one is discuss both views and give your opinion. The 5th one is discuss the problems and the solutions. Number 6 is discuss the advantages and disadvantages. And number 7 is discuss the advantages and disadvantages and give your opinion about which one you think is best. First of all, this is hard because I think you actually need to practice writing all 7 types because they're different. If you want to score highly on task achievement in the criteria and to get up to the 6.5, 7, 7.5 or 8, you need to understand the question types. That's the first step, okay? Let's keep looking at them. I'll give you an example of each. So the double question will look like this. So the question prompt will say something like blah, 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 blah. Don't worry too much about this. We'll get to it. But the double question says, why are students choosing to study online? What can universities do to attract students back on campus? So you can see 2 questions there. Agree, disagree, or the to what extent question type says in this little second part, to what extent do you agree? Or to what extent do you disagree? Or do you agree? Okay. 1 second, my computer is about to crash. No, it didn't crash. Yes, it did. Thanks, computer. Here we go, we're back. Discuss both views. This is the 3rd type. It just simply says discuss both views. Number 4 says discuss both views and give your opinion about which one you think is most effective. 5th one is, that's 4th, this is 5th. Problems and solutions. What do you think are the causes of this? What solutions can you suggest? 6th one, discuss the advantages and disadvantages of online learning, for example. And the 7th one, this should say 7, do the advantages outweigh the disadvantages? I don't want you to worry too much about those question types because we have another video up here which you can watch in your own time, which looks at them in more depth, okay? I just wanted to refresh your understanding and memory of those 7 different types. This leads to something more important. Well, maybe not more important, as important. That is, There are two types of paragraph structures you need for each type of essay. That didn't sound right. 1, 2, 3, and 4, the purple ones. That's where you will write two single idea paragraphs. I'm going to show you how to write those single idea paragraphs in a second. Okay. Now the green ones discuss the problems and solutions, discuss the advantages and disadvantages. This requires two double idea paragraphs. The main reason being is that it says discuss the problems and the solutions. You can't just discuss a problem and a solution. So that would be a single idea paragraph. Because it requires problems and solutions, advantages and disadvantages, we need to put two ideas into the one paragraph. Okay, let's firstly think about single idea paragraphs. So this will be for the double question, for example. Let's look at this one. Every year, more and more students choose to study online rather than attend classes on campus. Why are students choosing to study online? What can universities do to attract students back on campus? Okay, so you could have one paragraph here. This would be your paragraph 1, and you'll have a single idea about why, maybe effectiveness, or maybe they're choosing to study online because of convenience. You'll describe one idea in depth. And number 2, what can universities do to attract students back on campus? They can decrease the cost, or they can subsidize transport, something like that. Okay. Agree, disagree. To what extent? Studying online is more effective than studying on campus. To what extent do you agree? Well, you would have single idea paragraphs. Let me skip through this. This is boring. Let me just get to the structure here. The single idea paragraph structure. Okay, this is important. So, sentence 1, you want to introduce the first idea. Okay, you want to introduce that first idea, the single idea, a single idea. That's your opening sentence. Sentences 2 and 3, you will explain that first idea by giving reasons. Sentences 4 and 5, you will give examples, or an example or examples of that first idea. That's your evidence. And then sentence number 6, you'll refer back to the first idea. Let me take you through an example one here. Okay, I'm going to do it sentence by sentence. I'll read it to you. So we need an opening sentence, which is a single idea. It introduces a single idea. Studying online is much more effective than attending campus. That is wrong. I'm so sorry. That should say convenient. This is the problem of when you create these slides. Just imagine that says convenient, okay? Because this paragraph, in fact, is about convenience. I would lose points if I made that mistake. Convenience, okay? Convenience. Studying online is much more convenient than attending campus. That's my opening sentence. Now I need to explain it. Students do not have to leave their homes to listen to lectures or participate in tutorials. There's a grammar mistake. They can even interact with fellow peers just by using their laptops. That's another reason. Now I move into my example. For example, while online courses used to target working professionals who couldn't attend class, they now target anyone because universities have realized that people are time poor, again related to convenience. And then I need a closing sentence that refers back to my opening sentence about convenience. In short, because of the enormous time savings that online courses allow, people prefer it rather than attending face-to-face classes. So let's just get this right. So if that said convenience, which it should have, that was my mistake. I'm sorry, convenience. Much more convenient. Okay, so the idea, the single idea is convenience. Okay, so let's look at this second one. They do not have to leave their homes, okay? They now target anyone because universities have realized that people are time poor. In short, because of the enormous time savings, okay? And my reasons also link back to convenience there. So this is a single idea paragraph about convenience. Your turn. Hopefully you can write a better paragraph than mine. I'm going to give you 5 minutes. I probably did mine in 2. I want you to write now a single idea paragraph, okay? I'll talk you through it. I'll talk you through it. So get out your pen and paper. Here we go. So this is going to relate to the discuss both views question. Imagine you get this on test day. It says some people believe that studying online is more effective than studying on campus, while others disagree. Okay, so your first paragraph, I want you to discuss the first view, which is that studying online is more effective. Okay, studying online is more effective than studying on campus. So I want you to write a single idea paragraph. You introduce the first idea. You explain the first idea. Why is it more effective? Give examples of why it's more effective and refer back to that first idea of why it's more effective. Okay? See how you go. I don't want you to write 4 sentences. I want you to write, this one's 1 sentence. Try and write 2 here for the reasons. You can write 1 or 2 here for the example or evidence and 1 here. So I want you to write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6 sentences. Your time starts now. Cool. All right. I'm going to look at the chat and I'm going to read some out. Now, I hope that I'm just seeing single ideas such as convenience or effectiveness or whatever it is, extrapolated, which means you take that one idea and you just build on it, that single idea, and you flesh out the one idea. Don't put other ideas in. We don't want multiple ideas. We'll talk about the double idea paragraph next. Let's have a look. So I'm just going to read the opening sentence of each of your paragraphs, and hopefully we can get the main idea from it. What's this paragraph going to be about? Many people nowadays believe that taking courses online is more beneficial than attending classes in person. Okay, it was nice, but I want to know why. Discuss both views. Some people believe that studying online is more effective than studying on campus. Okay, that one's about convenience, like from the second sentence. Convenience is another one here. Okay, I'm going to read one that is not good, okay? And I'll tell you why. So studying online is very effective rather than studying on campus. It saves time and also it saves money. How many ideas have we got here? We've got effectiveness, we've got convenience, and we've got cost saving. So in fact, we've got 3 ideas into this one paragraph. No, choose one. Let's say you choose cost saving. Okay, let's say you're discussing both views. So you say, online studying is far less expensive than attending campus. That's your single idea. Now you will flesh it out. Now you will say, okay, it's far less expensive than studying on campus. I need some reasons why. The reasons why are because you can study on your computer rather than going to campus. Campuses cost a fortune to maintain. For example, the University of Melbourne's campuses cost $1 billion per year to maintain, including the technology in the classrooms. Studying online, you just need your laptop. Therefore, it is far less expensive and possibly preferable to online study, right? You flesh out that one idea. That's the idea of this paragraph here. Good though. You have to make mistakes to learn sometimes. Let's now talk about these double idea paragraphs because you may need to write one depending on these prompts here. The first prompt, if you get problems and solutions, you must write a double paragraph structure. Let me tell you why. By reading the prompt. Ready? Every year, more and more students choose to study online rather than attend classes on campus. What do you think are the causes of this? What solutions can you suggest? Why do I need to write a double idea paragraph structure here? Well, let's have a look. First of all, this will become my paragraph 1. What do you think are the causes? And this will become my paragraph 2. What solutions can you suggest? Now it says here, what are the causes? And it says here, what solutions? If you give one solution and one cause, you will be marked down. You need to talk about causes and solutions, but you need to talk about solutions in the one paragraph, and you need to talk about causes in the one paragraph. Therefore, we're going to need a double idea paragraph, right? Have you got me? This is what the IELTS examiners do. This is how they trick you. This is how they mark you down. You need to be more intelligent. You need to outsmart them. Also, look at this one, advantages and disadvantages. Some people believe that studying online is more effective than studying on campus, while others disagree. Discuss the advantages and disadvantages of online learning. It does not say discuss the advantage and disadvantage. It says discuss the advantages, plural, more than one. We need a double idea paragraph for this as well. The last one, of course, is advantages and disadvantages plus your opinion. It's the same as the one before, okay? Let's look at the double idea paragraph structure. This is the kind of paragraph you want to write. First sentence, you will introduce the set of ideas. For example, the advantages. You will then, in your second sentence, explain the first advantage. Third sentence, you'll give example of the first idea or the evidence. Then you'll explain the second idea or the second advantage, give example, and then refer back to the first two ideas. So basically, if you look at this structure, it looks complex, but just forget the introduction and the closing because they're basically the same. What you do is you explain, give an example, explain, give an example. Okay, and these two sentences almost are the same. So it looks confusing, but let's go through one sentence by sentence. So have a look at this first sentence. There are two primary reasons why studying online is more advantageous than attending classes on campus. So this paragraph will contain two ideas. There are two reasons or two advantages, okay? Firstly, it is far more convenient. Students do not have to travel in order to attend a lecture or tutorial. Give me some example and evidence, some evidence. For example, students can simply log into their university's websites to study. My grammar here needs a shake-up. I'm sorry about this. I wrote it too quickly. Second idea, secondly, online learning is much more effective. Okay, let's go back. The first idea was about convenience. Secondly, online learning is more effective. The second idea is effectiveness. Indeed, online learning has been increasing in effectiveness since the late 1990s. Evidence. What's your evidence, Jay? Well, one research article suggests that it now supersedes face-to-face learning by 16%. Okay, wrap it up, Jay. This should mirror your opening sentence. Overall, online learning is better than on-campus learning because of its convenience and effectiveness, right? Cool. I hope that's clear. So I've got the two ideas. I've got one about convenience and one about effectiveness. My opening sentence said that I would say that. My closing sentence reminded my reader of what those two ideas were. Your turn. I want you to write a double idea paragraph. So, I'm sorry. I've made too many mistakes. I'm going to fix this one. Give me, please, give me a second. Advantages. Disadvantages. There we go. That'll make sense now. Good. Okay, advantages and disadvantages. So it's test day and you receive this question prompt, which says some people believe that studying online is more effective than studying on campus while others disagree. What are the advantages and disadvantages of online learning? Okay, well, you can talk about either the advantages or disadvantages, but I want you to put two ideas into your paragraph using this structure, okay? Your time starts now. You have 5 minutes to do so. Okay. A few things. First of all, on test day, you're going to have extreme pressure on you, right? That clock's ticking out the front. You've got a pencil, a piece of paper. You probably need to go to the bathroom. You haven't eaten for hours. You feel terrible. You need to make decisions in this exam. Probably one of the most critical decisions you can make is which paragraph structure will I use? Because if you get the advantages, disadvantages essay prompt and you write a single idea paragraph, you will automatically be marked down because you have not answered the question properly. So anyway, it's just important. It's just important to make sure you just before you start writing, just stop before you start writing. Read the question prompt thoroughly, make a little plan. You can change your plan as you go along. Don't freak out if you change your plan, but just keep in mind how important it is to get the right paragraph structure for the particular question prompt. That's all. That's all. All right, I'm just going to have a quick look at your paragraphs, and I just want to see what the two ideas are. Okay, here we go. There are two main. Where's my pen? Damn it! What's going on? Okay, here we go. There are two main advantages of why studying online is the fairest way than on campus. Okay, it wasn't about fairness. It was about effectiveness. So you would have automatically lost marks. First of all, it's more convenient, blah, 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 blah. Good. At least you had one. I can't see the rest of it. Okay, somebody's written it's more cost effective and more effective. Excellent. Like it's cheaper and more effective. Great. Okay, good. Somebody's written the same thing. It's cheaper and more convenient, or similar thing. Excellent. Okay, somebody's written it's cheaper. I can't see your second idea there. Imagine I'm the IELTS examiner. This is what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to quickly scan your paragraph. I'm going to sort of pay attention to grammar, but I'm going to say, okay, one advantage. No second advantage. Score down. Okay, this is really, the IELTS examiners spend, is it 3 minutes per task or something? I think they get paid $3 per writing to mark. They spend very little time looking at it. They just scan their eyes over. Grammar's good. Yep. Okay, let's have a look at these paragraphs. How many advantages? Oh, 2. Excellent. Okay, good. And what about disadvantages? Oh, only 1. Boom, marked down. Just that's how it works. That's how it works. Cool. Let's do a quiz. So let's say it's test day. I'm going to show you a question prompt. I want you to type into the chat which paragraph structure you should use. Ready? Single idea or double idea? Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Good. Nice. Why? Why are you going to use the double idea paragraph here? Because it says advantages and disadvantages, and you have to discuss both. Okay, that's why. Good. Well done. Excellent. Quiz 2. Ready? Actually, let me make this a little bit more difficult. I'm going to delete the title off the top of the slide so you don't know what it is. Evil teacher. Well, got to prepare you for the real world, I think. All right. Ready? Which paragraph structure, single or double? All right, you should be able to get that in a second by looking at it. Yes, good, nice. Double, correct. Why? Let's have a look at it. You need to use the double idea paragraph because your first paragraph is going to be about causes, but there's more than one. Your second paragraph will be about solutions, but there's more than one. Okay, so we use the double idea paragraph. Great. Next question, quiz time, and you get this one on test day. Okay, what have you got? Good, single. Let's have a look at this. This is a confusing one. I purposely put this in because I wanted to trick you, but you're too smart. But let's have a look. Okay. Some people believe that studying online is more effective than studying on campus, while others disagree. So this one is about effectiveness, about whether it works or not, and to what degree does it work, studying online, in terms of teaching you. Now discuss both views and give your opinion about which one you think is most effective. Okay, so your paragraph 1 is going to be about online learning and its effectiveness, okay? You can't talk about convenience here because it's not about convenience. It's asking about effectiveness. Paragraph 2 will be about on-campus studying and the effectiveness of on-campus studying. I guess you could write, well, no, it's better to write a single idea paragraph about effectiveness of online learning, and then a second paragraph, a single idea paragraph about the effectiveness of on-campus learning. Okay, that would be a much better way to do this. And the idea of writing that single idea paragraph and really pulling out the reasons and the examples focused on that single idea of effectiveness of online learning. For example, let me give you an example. Let's say my first paragraph says, because I have to discuss both views, and it says, online learning is incredibly effective. Okay, now I need reasons why. You know, many cognitive scientists have worked for decades on improving the effectiveness of online learning. In addition, the technology is good enough to enable people to learn more effectively. Okay, it's all about effectiveness. Now I need some evidence. I'll make it up. One research paper from Harvard University suggests that online learning is 86% more effective than actually studying on campus. Now I need a closing sentence about effectiveness. Overall, online learning is an extremely effective way to learn in the modern world, something like that. Okay, fine. That's paragraph 1. Paragraph 2, I need to talk about the effectiveness of on-campus study. So I'll say something like, studying on campus is also an effective way to learn. Okay, I'm not saying which one's better yet. I'll do that in the conclusion. So now I need reasons why studying on campus is effective. Not only can you meet face-to-face with the lecturer and the professor, but you can also interact with your peers who will help you to learn. Okay, great. Now I need some evidence. According to a recent poll, 22% of students said that they preferred on-campus learning because it was more effective than studying on the computer. Overall, studying on campus is an effective way to learn, whatever. Okay, you can see I've put my 2. Now, if we look closely at this one again, it also asks me for my opinion. I will put that into the conclusion. I might even put it into the introduction, but I'll say, you know, despite on-campus learning being very effective, online learning is more effective, or is the most effective, blah, blah, blah. Cool. One more quiz. Which type of paragraph would you use here? A single idea or a double idea? Single. The answer is single there. The answer is single. Good. Good, good, good. Let me just quickly clarify why. Okay, again, studying online is more effective than studying on campus. Okay, so I'm going to write one paragraph about studying online's effectiveness, okay? And I'm going to write one paragraph about studying on campus's effectiveness. Now, I can't talk about convenience or cost saving because that's not what it's asking me about. It's about asking which one is more effective. And then I also have to say to what extent do I agree or disagree. So in my conclusion, I will also put my opinion. Cool. Right. That was pretty tricky stuff. Don't worry if you're feeling confused. If you are feeling confused and you feel like you need to clarify, you feel like you need help, check out this website. Make yourself a free account. Think about upgrading your account for some tutorials. We also give feedback on your writing. So if you want to write an essay and submit it to us, you do that through the platform. You can also come along and join our live classes, which happen every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday nights. A whole lot of practice material on there as well as methods lessons and more, okay? Does that make you feel better or worse? Just type into the chat, better or worse after that little lecture. Better or worse? Better. Good. Good. Very useful. All right. Yeah. Well, it's interesting, isn't it? You know, it's actually, I've been looking at this IELTS test for like literally a year and thinking, if you think you're just going to go and take the IELTS and get an 8, I think you're kidding yourself. Even if you're a native English speaker, you need to understand all the different question types. You need to think about, okay, what structures will I use on test day? I really think you ought to put yourself under test conditions and practice as well, because it's one thing to be at home and to be relaxed and have a cup of tea and think, oh, I'm going to write an essay on the computer and practice for my IELTS, and you type an essay. It's very different on test day when you have a pencil, you have a piece of paper, you have time pressure, you may need, you're tired, you're not feeling 100%, and you have to not only that, you start at 9 o'clock in the morning. You have to switch your brain on straight away. Make sure you drink lots of coffee, but not too much coffee, because then you need to go to the bathroom. It's problematic. Erica. Jay, what were your IELTS second test scores? Okay. What am I going to say to you? What am I going to say as your teacher? And I've taken the IELTS twice. The first time I got, second time I got. Can I please wait to tell you? I want to wait because I don't want you to lose faith in me as a teacher. I don't know. I mean, I do know. I've taken this test for the third time. I took it last week for the third time. And the third time, hopefully third time lucky. The third time I felt very good about what I'd written. I really sat there. I finished and I thought, boom, great, did it. Really nice, really nice. Task 1, task 2, I don't think I could have written it any better. The second one, to be honest with you, I felt terrible on test day. Not sick. I don't know. I slept for about 2 hours. I was nervous. I felt really nervous in there, which was really strange because maybe I do have a lot riding on this, being the IELTS teacher. Look, I will tell you, but I want to wait until I get my third test result, because then I feel like I'll get a really high one, and then I can say, don't worry about my second one. You can still trust me. Don't get scared. Look, and also I think there is an element of, here's a beautiful word, arbitrariness to this. I really do think that sometimes you just get an examiner who, for whatever reason, doesn't like your handwriting. They need to go to the bathroom and they think, oh, quick, I'll quickly do this. Or maybe they don't understand how profound you really are and your essay was far too philosophical. I don't know. Look, I think with language testing, then how accurate language testing is. So you can use computer-based testing, which I think there's a lot of promise in computer-based testing. Anyway, I don't want to go into it. I'm sorry. I'll wait till I get my third score and then I'll tell you. I promise I'll tell you then, but I can't tell you now because you'll hate me. Okay. Any questions? Any questions? Tintin Tan says, I failed my PTE twice. Well, the PTE's got a similar thing with speaking where it's incredibly strict for speaking. Any questions? Anand, tomorrow is my exam. Give me some tips. Just watch all the videos on YouTube there, Anand. Unless you're a paid member and you should practice, my man. Okay. Okay. All right. Here's a question. Sorry. Here's a question about the agree, disagree question type. To what extent do you agree or disagree? Good question. It says, it just asks, to what extent do you agree? If it says, to what extent do you agree, can you also talk about disagree? Yes, you can, because as long as it's just in your conclusion and maybe your introduction as well, that you put your opinion and you say, I completely agree with the prompt. Now you might, for example, write a paragraph that says, you know, let's take a question prompt. It says, studying online is more effective than studying at university. Okay, fine. So there's an opinion. To what extent do you agree or disagree? And I'd say, I completely agree that studying online is now more effective than studying at university. Okay, so that might be my first paragraph. Second paragraph, I can say, despite this, there are reasons why some people think that studying on campus is more effective. For example, blah, blah, blah. And then in my conclusion, I can go back and say, you know, despite the arguments of why studying on campus could be more effective, studying online is more effective. Anyway, yes, you can. You can do for, against, for, against, for, just like that. Okay, here's a good question. For the evidence, can you just make up statistics? Yes, you can. Of course, you don't have access to a library, so you can just use your imagination. You can say, a recent study from Harvard University suggests that 96% of people prefer online learning because of its convenience. Okay? So you can make that up. Or you can just make up a statistic and just say, it's better if you reference a university or a research body. Just say Harvard University. According to Harvard University, blah, blah, blah. Jay, do I have to pay for the evaluation of writing? Yes, we don't do it for free, unfortunately, or else we couldn't do this at all. Cool. All right. I'm going to try something with you guys, if you don't mind. I'm going to send you a link where you can donate a little bit of money, whatever you feel is okay by you, whether it's $1 or $2 or $10, whatever, okay? I just want to do this as an experiment. I'm going to send you an email, everyone who attended this live class, and I'll put it on YouTube too. If you want to contribute a little bit of money to E2 Language to keep us going, to keep us producing great material so you don't have to suffer through your exams, then click on that link and I'll be surprised if you do contribute something, okay? Cool. Thanks, guys. I'll see you soon. Good luck in your exams.